Hi, I'm so excited to see you once again. Today we'll be looking at numbers. So number and the number system. What is a number? A number is a quantity, or let's say a digit, an item, or any figure which can be used to describe quantities. Quantity is an amount of something you have. For instance, if I have 1 cup, the 1 is the number I'm using to describe the number of cups I'm having. So 1 cup means I have only 1 cup. I can say I have 5 oranges. 5 oranges, meaning I have 5 of the oranges. If you have 3 pens, it means you have 3 of the what? Pens. In short, a number is a digit which is used to describe an amount of something you are having. Today we want to dive into types of numbers and how they relate in mathematical operations. I'll be talking about 4 to 5 types of numbers, which we'll be looking at the counting or natural numbers. We'll be looking at whole numbers. We will again look at even numbers, odd numbers, integers, and then prime numbers. These are the ones you're supposed to know for the level at which we are taking you through. Let's start with the first one, which is counting or natural numbers. We say counting because these are numbers that we can count. They are numbers that we can designate, or numbers that we can tell their quantity based on the digit or mentioning. If I tell you 1, I'm talking about a particular thing. If I tell you 2, you mean, or we understand that it is talking about 2 different things. If I say 3, 4, in that order, it tells you something, which means it is counting and it is natural. So we can mention some of them as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can count and count and count and count. These are natural or counting numbers. We can count them. The next number I want us to look at is the whole numbers. Whole numbers. So these are numbers that start from 0 through to the end. So these numbers, when we are writing them, we start from 0. They are whole numbers. We start from 0. Example, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can count and count and count. That one to infinity. Actually, we can't count all the numbers. So in our writing, when we get tired, we just bring 3 dots indicating there are more numbers that are there, but we were not able to capture. Okay, now the next type of number I want you to look at is the number we call even numbers. Even numbers. Even numbers are numbers that can be divided by 2 without leaving any number behind. So these numbers can be divided equally by the number 2. So you can divide it equally by the number 2. When we take 2, for instance, 2 can divide 2 1 time. When we take 4, 2 can divide 4 2 times. When we take 6, 2 can divide it 3 times. When we take 8, 2 can divide the 8 4 times. So these are the numbers that we often hear people saying 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on. These are the even numbers. They can be divided by 2 without leaving a remainder. The next type of number is odd numbers. Odd numbers. These numbers are not like the even numbers. These numbers, 2 cannot divide them equally. 2 cannot divide them equally. So these numbers, they can vary by 2, but it won't be equally shared. There will be some numbers or some number at the string. And so when we take 1 for instance, 2 can divide 1. It won't be fair. You get it? The same way 2 can divide 3 fairly. Are we there? And so these numbers, 2 can divide them alright, but it wouldn't be equally shared, or it won't sound so nice. That's why we call them odd. They are odd numbers. So we're getting half attached to them, which is not like it. So examples, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. You can count and count and count and count to infinity. The next type of numbers I want us to look at is what we call the integers. The integers. The integers. These are numbers comprising both negatives and positives. So these numbers, we will get negative numbers and we will get positive numbers as well. So we start from negative, we come to 0, and we continue to the positive. So we can have a number like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. A lot of numbers there, but I'm just taking this as an example. We can have like -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to infinity. All these numbers are integers because they have both positive and negative numbers as shown on your screen. Then the last type of number I want us to look at is what we call the prime numbers. The prime numbers. These are so wonderful. These are numbers that have only 2 factors. Factors are numbers that can divide another number. So with this type of numbers, they have only 2 factors. And those factors, can you guess them? Okay, you've done well. So these factors are only 2. That is 1 and the number itself. So only 1 can divide that number and the number itself. Apart from 1 and the number itself, no other number can divide it. Can you mention some of the numbers that are prime numbers? Think. Okay. That's nice of you. You are doing well. Okay. So some examples, we have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, okay, 13, can we add another one? 17. Wow, you are doing awesome. So we can count and count and count. All these numbers I mentioned, they can be divided by only 2 factors. That is 1 and the number itself, and that makes them prime numbers. We will end this lesson here. Try your best possible to solve the questions I'm about to post right after this. Then tell mommy, daddy, or your teacher how you did in this test, and I believe that you are going to love it. You are going to enjoy it so much. See you in our next lesson as we dive into place value and then naming of numbers. See you in our next tutorial.